guys, welcome back to my channel, TMNJ. My name is Taras. Here with you guys with another video on, this video will be towards, I guess, the concept of factorization of eating properties. Yeah, so I was thinking vegan, but I was like, I'm vegetarian, but I suppose you see the concept of eating. So, how do I begin? There are various perspectives on food choice. As you can tell, I just woke up, so there are various perspectives on food choice. Various perspectives. I just woke up. When it comes down to it, there are those who eat meat, which is technically speaking, they're unhealthy for you. There are those who are vegan, which is basically eating meat yet not meat. Eating something that looks like meat but isn't meat. So basically trying to not eat meat but not going far from the factorization of meat. So yeah. And then is the concept of being vegetarian. With each one being put into mind, because I've eaten meat, I've been vegan, tried being vegan, now I'm vegetarian. I'll say, when it comes down to it, you must know yourself entirely. Knowing oneself is the key to understanding what your body wants to take into its being, literally. So, for example, right, when I had evolved, when I awakened, when I went through an awakening, I remember with a friend of mine, I was speaking about how, like, there's no energy in meat at all. Like, it's just dead food, literally. So when you think about it, like, cows, for example, right? They get their energy from grass, from Mother Earth, right? They eat the grass or whatever they eat, hay, whatever the fuck, right? They eat it, they get energy from it, and then if they're killed, well, not if, but when they're killed, more so to say, because they literally are slaughtered, sadly. When they're killed, then you have other beings like us that basically eat what they have within them. So it's basically like, it's a sad chain of events, actually speaking. So we technically do not get the proper nutrients into our bodies when we eat meat at all. We don't. You really don't. Now, when it comes to this is such an odd area to speak on. When it comes down towards what? Veganism. I don't have much to say towards it. I look at it as is, hey, actually, no, I'm not gonna get to veganism yet. I'm gonna stay on meat for a while. So when it comes, as I said, with meat, you're getting protein, quote unquote, but it slows you down. It may be great for bodybuilding and all these different things, but hey, I'm vegetarian and I can like bodybuild too, literally. It just takes certain roughage, certain things to put into your body that can literally help you with bodybuilding. Literally, if you're a person who works out and all, mind you. Now, the way I look at meat, because I'm not gonna say it's horrible, mind you, because everyone eats what they eat. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, don't do this, don't do that. I'm just gonna speak from my own perspective, all right? Just giving whatever information or knowledge I have to give, right? So when it comes down to meat, in general speaking, would I ever recommend anyone eat meat? No, I wouldn't recommend it. Why? Because not only it kills you slowly, literally, your body struggles to process it. Your body takes about 3 days, or sometimes I think I heard like 98 hours one time, so something like that. Either 3 days or more than that to digest meat, which is really bad. Literally, your body doesn't understand what the fuck it's taking in. We're speaking, we're not meant to literally eat meat. My gods even say we're not meant to eat meat. like that at all. You might in your mind be saying like, well, why then, like, back when we used like fucking like bows and spears and all, like we'd eat meat and all. Well, here's the thing though. That was for survival. We're in the modern age, quote unquote, right? The modern era. We can literally graze all farmland. Literally. Our groceries are full of greens. So literally though, when it comes down to it, literally kills us slowly. It does kill us. It's not good for us at all. Also the concept of understanding that, okay, so when you eat meat, when you're not aware, mind you, when you are aware, you're able to feel the pain and suffering in the animals. For me, when I was eating meat, it was before I awakened, mind you, I was very unaware of a lot of things towards animals. See, the one thing people don't really acknowledge is that, hey, where did this food come from? Like, where did this turkey breast that you're eating with your rice and with your corn come from? Where did this shit, like, it didn't just come out of nowhere. Where did it come from? It didn't just come from a supermarket. Like, where was the whole process that it came? Like, what was the process of it? Oh, like, how did this all come? And see, yes, I did eat meat. I did. Until I then became aware of the suffering, the torture, the murder that they go through, animals go through. I'll say, you guys, some people may say, well, they're just cloned, but I'm sorry, if you were cloned, would you still not feel someone beating the shit out of you with a baseball bat or with a torch? Would you still not feel the pain even if you're cloned? Would you still not feel the pain? Question mark. Literally, like, it's the worst sort of abuse. Like, see, I'll say this: it's one thing if you're to eat another animal, right, and do it in a respectful way, the way the natives would do it, which is basically kill the animal, but look at the animal in the eye, so that the animal knows that it's not like, so its spirit knows it's not leaving its vessel alone, literally, so it's not dying alone. It's respectful, being entirely respectful, and giving like praise to Mother Earth, Gaia, Ra, Luna, all these different gods or goddesses, whatever you believe in, so on and so forth, whatever you know of, right? All these different concepts towards giving respect towards the animal, for giving you food, for aiding you in survival, right? Compared to how things are done nowadays, where it's in production factories, where literally, I remember I was seeing a video where I think some sort of dog or a wolf or something like that. They literally, there was a you know how there are the dumpster trucks, right? It was like some sort of like opening like that, right? Like a dumpster truck. They literally threw the animal straight up, just threw it in there like nothing. I remember another animal was like some sort of wolf or coyote or dingo. They literally like was standing on its neck. Yeah, had its foot, had one of the workers had his foot on its neck, literally. Another thing I was seeing where it was like baby pigs. I was like, wow, what? Baby pigs, all these different things. Like, do you guys really take into mind where these animals, sorry, my gods are speaking to me, where these animals like come from? Like what happens to them before like you eat them? Do you take into mind what happens to them before you prepare them? And see, here's the fucked up part here. That's also pretty funny to me. When I'd eat meat way back when, and then given that I'm vegetarian now, I did think about what meat really tastes like way back. And when I eat like, I don't know, like a piece of turkey wing, right? Thinking about it, didn't taste like a single thing. It didn't. Even when I was awakening and becoming more aware and I could not eat meat at all, meat just didn't taste like a single thing. And plus, given that they're beaten, abused, tortured to a high ass degree. Some animals are literally like killed. No, not even some of them. All of them are killed alive. They're all feeling that pain. Their anxiety is going through the roof. Every emotion that humans can feel, they're going through. So trauma, they're going through the trauma. They're going through high levels of anxiety, high levels of just sadness, scared as fuck. All these different emotions, and see, humans, we it's like we've been made to be unaware of these things, which is really messed up. It's really messed up. But yes, that is literally all in your food. So think about this: those pheromones, those hormones that the animal's feeling, you will be feeling literally. But the thing is, we decide we can block it out. We can decide, okay, whether we want to block it out or feel these things. Literally, sometimes we just most of the time, again, we're just programmed to just like not give a fuck. In general speaking, be like, oh no, human life is better than animal life, when all life is equal. All life is equal, literally. But yeah, it's pretty messed up. As I became aware and came to understand these things, the torture, all these different things that go down to happen, it's like a what the fuck moment. Like literally. And then my mind was like, how can these workers kill these animals and not care at all? I remember I literally seen a worker in a video, right, take a metal baseball bat he was repeatedly hitting this dingo, whatever the hell it was, in the head while someone was like making sure the animal couldn't move. Repeatedly hitting it in the head as hard as he could. That really hurts. Just to even say that. I can literally see it. I can literally feel the animal's pain. That is... Imagine that. Imagine being held down and being hit in the head multiple times and you can't move. Or defend yourself at all. You can't do the thing. You just have to lay there and die. And just take it. Think about that. Think about how traumatizing that is. Think about how painful that is. That's what you eat. Literally. That's stuff you take into your bodies. Literally. And it does affect you. It does affect you neurologically. It does affect you. It affects your body and it affects your mind. It does. Don't think it doesn't. It does. Literally. I've literally seen more people be depressed when they eat meat than when they don't eat meat. Yeah. I've seen more people be depressed as shit when they eat meat compared to when they don't eat meat. But when it comes down to it also, the more aware I became of these things, the more my body started to reject meat entirely. And was like, mind you, I didn't have a choice in the matter. I had to research these things on my own. Because I had to figure out what my body could take into its being, or what it wanted to take in. So any and all variations of meat, fish, I couldn't. My body was like, no, sorry, we're not eating any of that. We're not taking in any of that, literally, because we understood that, hey, this was a life. This is technically speaking. Let me say this. You may say, oh no, it's dead. No. That's still alive. Let me say this. Everything around you. So, for example, right. This bed, this notebook, this computer, all of it has an energy signature to it. So basically all of it is alive. If it has an energy signature to it, if it has a vibrational frequency, if it has an aura around it, it is alive. Mind you, you guys probably cannot see auras. If you can, that's beautiful. If you cannot, I'm sorry. But anything that has an aura or energy signature or vibrational frequency is alive. So all these things that we say, oh no, oh my headphones broke, let me throw them away. Your headphones are alive. You might be saying like, how? Did someone not put energy into making them? If you're putting energy towards something, you're creating a new life form. Think about it. When your parents put energy towards sex and then creating you, and they just put energy towards. Technically speaking, they created the baby, but but your spirit chose to be in the vessel, technically speaking. But in general speaking, though, when it comes down to it, right? Your parents created you, didn't they? They didn't. Your spirit, technically speaking, was already created to begin with, but the vessel they created, right? Right. So when it comes down to it, anything you create has life to it. Any drawing, any picture, anything you create has life to it. Literally. So where was I? I literally forgot where I was. So when it comes down to it, even things you don't create, everything that's been created has a life form. The trees have a life force, right? They have energy signature towards them. They have a vibrational frequency. The books, everything, they all have a vibrational frequency towards them. The animals as well. Every single living being, every single thing on this world has a vibrational frequency towards it. Everything, even the water, but yeah. Now, with that being said, understand that, again, so that means even the meat you're eating is still alive. And it's not, again, it's harming your body. There's people who, I wouldn't say I'm a health freak, but I wouldn't say I research health to a high degree. I do look at things here and there. But what I do know, highly speaking, is that I remember I was listening to the Breakfast Club one time, way back when I listened to radio and shit, and the people, Dr. Sebi's kids, they're literally explaining how meat kills you. Like, people don't even acknowledge how fast meat kills you. It does. Your body literally cannot take it. That's why your body is not meant to digest food in 3 days. It's meant to digest food like immediately. Or rather, in a very short span of time. So let me say like this. For me as a vegetarian, who I would eat, let's say, a meal for me that would fill me up in a day would be maybe 2 servings of rice and peas with giving them like a Jamaican dish, like rice and peas, some plantain, some fried dumpling, spinach, and tofu. But that's not Jamaican. Tofu is in the Jamaican dish, but but everything else is, right. So all that, I'd maybe say 2 servings of that would fill me up. 2 servings, just for the day, and then my body would digest it, and then I'd be hungry again for the next day. Your body isn't meant to just eat meat, because again, meat slows you down. It doesn't give you. It's dead food. It's not live energy. It's dead food, literally. You don't get any sort of protein like that from it. You get protein, quote unquote, from meat, yes, but is it the best protein for you? No, not at all. The best proteins come from like greens and roughage, like potatoes and corn and beans. That's where the best protein comes from, literally. How do you guys think? Like, I remember, actually, hold up a second. I'll show an example. You see my body? How it is? Mind you, I went weightlifting with my brother a few days ago. Hold up. So, in basics, right? You'd think you'd have to get a body like this, right? If you were to, eat meat, eat like a bulkage of meat. This is the majority of my being right now literally goes towards, not even the majority of it, all my being literally goes towards beans, corn, all variations of roughage, no meat at all. My uncles are built as shit. Literally. Like, one of them is literally one of them is a monster, literally. And he's a vegetarian. all of my uncles are primarily vegetarians. All of them. Not all of them, but the majority of them are all vegetarians, and they're all very built. I'll say it like that. They're all built, literally. No meat at all in their diets. Nothing. No sort of meat. None. None at all. Just all roughage, rice, everything. People say that being vegetarian, it's like, oh, you have to eat salads all day. No. What do salads give you with energy? It gives you salads are live food. Roughage is basically live food. It's great. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I will say that. I will admit that. It's beautiful. Salads are live. It's live energy. It's all live energy you're taking into your body, which is the best for your being to even take in to begin with. But at the same account, though, it can be rough to eat to be vegetarian, given that the prices towards eating better compared to eating shit it's pretty messed up. You'd be surprised at how expensive it is to eat healthy compared to not eating healthy at all. But then again, meat is expensive as hell, isn't it? But yeah. Now, when it comes to getting off of meat, when it comes to being vegetarian, there are a variety of things you can do. Now, mind you may think like the stereotypical. Like, I remember I was at my old job at Acme, and my old coworker said, "Oh, like, I'm not you. Like, you want me to eat salads all day?" And I was like, "That's not all being a vegetarian goes towards." But okay, I got paused, and I was like, an ignorant person would say salads, because that's stereotypically what people think vegetarians eat. When no, how do you think a person who's really built, who's a vegetarian, do you think they really just eat salads all day? No, not in the slightest. No, that may be like a appetizer, but no, not in the slightest. I don't even eat salads anymore. I don't, because I just don't. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't see a point like that. Because I'd rather eat something that'll really fill me up compared to something that'll just be like, okay. But in general speaking, though, the same shit you put on your chicken, you put on your meat. You did put on your meat, or you did put on your chicken. You can put on literally vegetarian meals. So, for example, right, what I would do is when I was I'd make, say, like a pot of rice, peas, some spinach, and is that all? No, and then like maybe like say 2 potatoes. What I would do, I'd take some onion powder, some garlic powder, put it on the rice and peas, and then I'd go ahead and mix in the potato with it. Mix in the potato, put in the rice and peas, right? Put the spinach in there too. Have a nice big mixture, right? Maybe if needed, put some sauce. Make like sauce, for example, sweet chili sauce, curry sauce. There are so many sauces that we quote unquote use for our meats, right? That can be highly used towards non-meat foods, vegetarian foods, literally. Tofu, for example, the way tofu is so good. If you know how to cook tofu, I learned the hard way. It is so beautiful. You know how to cook tofu, literally, because it's literally a sponge. Tofu is literally a sponge. So whatever you mix in, I put soy sauce, for example, and there I cut the There's so many ways you can cook tofu. You can make it like big chunks or small chunks, right? You can fry it. You put some juices in there first. Then you put the tofu in there, right? Fry it. While you're frying it, and in the process of it soaking up the juice, you put whatever sort of ingredients you want, whatever peppers, whatever sauces you want in the tofu, right? In the mixture. And then you just let it sit there and just absorb the juices and all, and then you would take it. It's like a whole process of things. You take it out of the thing, and then you fry it again, basically. So one, you let it soak in the juices and all, and two, you let it just fry, and then it tastes amazingly good. Literally, it tastes splendidly amazing. Tofu. The one time I really cooked tofu, it was like no, everyone ate it off because it was so good. Like, I'm sorry, to I'd rather, as being a vegetarian, I do not miss meat at all. Given I can literally sense the negative vibrations in the meat, it's not. It makes it literally just me looking at meat. When I was at the deli at Acme working there, I literally almost passed out. I almost passed out. And I almost blacked out. I almost literally like tripped over myself and like fell on the ground. Like, it was that bad. I can't work with meat. It's I can literally feel the pain, the suffering of all of it when you become very aware of these things. Let me say this: society likes you to not be aware of what you're eating and what you're taking into your body, right? So it's easier to program you with society compared to like you not going with the program at all, and you just doing your own thing. And you understanding what your body wants to take into its system instead of just your parents just shoving meat in your face and being like, eat this. This is what we eat. This is what you eat. No. Literally. My mom literally had to go through a whole transition of, oh, you don't eat meat anymore. Oh, how do I feed you? Literally. Remember one night she literally was looking at me like, how do I feed you? And she was stumped. She didn't know how, because she was used to just making one dinner for everyone, not having to make two separate things, literally. But the one thing I will say is, if any of you do decide to become vegetarian, understand the perks of it. It is beautiful. You feel energized, literally, when you eat. You may have to go to the bathroom a lot more, not a lot more, but just more than you would naturally speaking. It is a lot healthier for you. A lot healthier for you. I'm not gonna say veganism is good. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I meant, my body just was like, hey, I don't want meat, and it felt like meat to me. The texture felt like meat, so my body was like, fuck no, literally. So I would recommend possibly veganism if you don't want to like not entirely stop eating meat, because veganism is practically like meat but not meat. It looks like it looks like meat, but it's not meat. Literally. But other than that, vegetarianism is something I would highly recommend to all of you. So yeah, with that being said, also, it aids you in when you change your eating diet, your body goes through a huge transition. So you have to eat a lot more when you are a vegetarian or vegan. You do have to eat more. Especially being a vegetarian, you do have to eat more. There's a lot of protein, a lot of stuff that goes into a lot of energy you gain. So you will have to go to the bathroom more than you usually would, but you also do have to eat. You also would have to eat more because your body is digesting food naturally, how it's meant to digest food. Literally. That's why usually when I say I make a pot of rice or make a whole meal for myself, or a meal for like a whole dinner, right? My being literally after I eat my serving of dinner, I'm saying I'm full. The next day I won't be full. If you eat meat, you feel slowed down, you feel tired, right? You won't feel as energetic as you usually would. You'll probably go to sleep immediately, right? Right? You'll be like, oh, I'm too tired for that. When you don't eat dead food, when you eat live food, you have energy to do things at all times, literally. I mean, unless you haven't gotten that much of bed rest. But if you have gotten that much of bed rest, if you have gotten a lot of it, you'll be good. Literally, let me say this: what you put into your body goes towards how you'll function and process. Literally, my mind processes things a lot faster than when I ate meat. A lot faster. I understand things a lot more deeper in depth compared to not eating meat. I mean, compared to when I did eat meat. Um, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah. So this was my video on what eating healthy. For you guys to really think about of like what you guys really want to do with your bodies, of how you really want to, well, better yourselves and elevate yourselves, literally, because your being knows what it wants to eat. All you must do is literally ask your being, what do you want to eat, bro? What do you want to eat? Literally, you just become aware. Simply put. And that being said, I love you guys. My name is Taras. That's my channel, TMNJ. Jane.